Now, after putting together your NCASE M2, you probably noticed that there's a major flaw. Now, this isn't done intentionally by NCASE, but we can definitely work around it. So let's figure out how to fix this. So this is the bottom panel. All throughout the body there are several CNC'd areas, and this is for breathability, heat being able to escape the case, as well as proper airflow for whatever radiator, case fans, and GPU that you might have inside your case. But there is no filtration on any of these sides. That's the biggest problem. If you look to the front, the holes are pretty large, and even on the top I think they're even bigger. Now the side panels are honestly the best because of how small those holes are, and the back is left with a wide open gap. So here's one way to fix it. They give you 3D printed files, and there's these little slots that basically go in the areas of those gaps where you're not really using it. They have a short one, and they also have a pretty long one that goes from side to side. Now you could fill the back up with these as needed for whatever space that you have. I haven't figured out which way they go, but I'm pretty sure it's this way. Yeah, this is one way. 3D prints, it's free, which is nice if you have a 3D printer, of course. But it's a nice, a nice way to fix the back, especially if that large opening does bother you. So now the top, bottom, and front panel are a different story. But this is what I did. This is my workaround. So I ordered this metal mesh filter from Amazon. This is for PCs. I'll put the link in the description. And I really like how this effect happens when you have two over each other, which is really cool. But I really thought the NCASE would allow magnets to stick to it. This is a magnet strip that comes in that Amazon kit with those mesh filters. And it doesn't stick to any sides of the NCASE. It does stick to the radiator bracket though, but that might be okay because the magnet strip might have been too thick to actually fit inside of the NCASE. But as you can see, once you try to make it stick, it just falls off. So in that Amazon packet, the sheets are going to be bigger than this. You do have to cut it down to size, which I did before filming this. So I separated the top and the bottom panel, and I basically measured where I wanted to cut it. Now here's the trick for the bottom, because with the top you could kind of just have that sit there, but for the bottom, you have the case feet bracket, you have the vertical GPU mount. So I do recommend just punching in those holes, and what that does is it almost creates like a registration mark, and at least it's not going to shift around, it's not going to move anywhere, and it can be secured every time you take off those panels. I have a little screwdriver kit, and it has these bits. I use this just to punch those holes. You will have to take off the case feet bracket, but here's me punching those holes for those case feet brackets, just so if you want to see it for whatever reason. You will need some scissors, you will need a razor blade, and obviously something to poke those holes out. And I do recommend like a cuticle cutter or some small scissors to cut the other side once you poke those holes, so that little fringing can be taken off. I don't know if you guys can see it. And once you've done that, now the bottom is protected, so when you do decide to do the same thing for when you get your fans or whatever, at least you know that the dust isn't going to be a problem or as much of a problem. I don't know how much this affects airflow. Here's a view from the top. I'm still figuring out if I want to do the front panel. Again, I'm not too sure how much this affects airflow, and I will be testing that out once I actually do my build. Depending on how precise you are with cutting those sheets, those mesh sheets, you will have some left over for your fan brackets or the front panel, so don't worry about that. If this video helped you in any kind of way, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe.